Alright, so today I'm making this video because I think it is more important, or you can say it is the most important video for right now, because I think US is going to attack on Iran, or Iran is going to attack on US blockade in next 2 or 3 days. In the last video, I have talked about astrologically that from astrology point of view, there are some days where the conjunction is so bad that it has led to wars in the past, and those dates are from 19th to 21st if we strictly speaking in the terms of astrology. And if we talk or you can say if we take 1-2 days extra, then it would be from 19th to 23rd of April. Now this is the talk of astrology, right? And we can also ignore this, but there is one single thing in this astrological window, that is 22nd of April. What is on 22nd of April? 22nd of April is the last day where the ceasefire would end if no deal has been reached between US and Iran. And I believe that ceasefire is going to end soon, because either US is going to attack on Iran or Iran is going to attack on US blockade very, very soon, right? Now, I am going to talk about what is happening physically in a real world, right? For that, let me go to some other location. Okay, so now coming to the physical world. Physically, US has made a blockade, right, which has been announced 1 week back, and we all were hyping up, the markets were hyping up. I have actually written a very long post on Telegram regarding that, but let's forget that. So markets are hyping up, markets are pumping, but why? If you remember my posts on Telegram, I have written several times that people do not know why markets are pumping. The reason is US government has been buying the old treasury bills, right, which were old and were not performing, or let's say which were going to expire, and US is quantitatively easing, which means US government is giving the money to the market. How? They are buying old bills from the banks, which are 10-year bonds, 30-year bonds, etc., and they are obviously buying them, and that is going to that money is going to the banks, and those banks are putting that money into the stock market. And if you search for little, you would know that hedge funds, the big investors like Warren Buffett, all of these people are either shorting the market or are increasing their cash position. Now why is that? What do they know that we do not know? The reason is simple. US economy is collapsing, and those investors, those companies are in the US, so they know much more than we do, right? And US government is making these buying every single month. Do you know that? I haven't talked about this in the video. I have talked about it in the Telegram channel, and I don't think so many people know about it. Every single month, US is trying to put almost $50 to $100 billion into the stock market by buying the old treasury bonds, right? This is the first reason why the stock market is pumping. And as we all know, world is interconnected. So if US equity is pumping, so does Asian, so does every other country's index. Why? Because they are interlinked, and they see, all right, if this is pumping, world is good, right? Everything is going good, talks are going good. So the buyers, or you can say the retailers, the domestic buyers of those index, like the buyers from Asia, buyers from Europe, or of different countries, they also buy those things, right? And it can also be a systematic buying where every single country, right, where every single country is buying the stocks, but the big investors which have some searched or which have some research on the real data, they are not buying it, right? So this is the first part, the money part, why stock market is pumping, right? Now going to the second part. So as I have talked about that US blockade, right? Do you know what happened yesterday on 16th of April? And I'm sure this news was not made worldwide, because I didn't get this news. I was researching, and only then I found out that US government has passed this law where US blockade and US nationals, means the US Navy, they are hunting every single ship which is linked to Iran, right? And every single ship means those ships which have passed through Strait of Hormuz weeks back, even months back. They have passed this law that they can hunt any Iranian ship. They can attack on them, they can sink them, and they can seizure their content, even if it is oil, even if it is iron, any single thing. If it is on ship, US now has the legally approved law which allows them that they can seizure anything which they find on Iranian ships, Iranian linked. So it is not just US blockade where they are just stopping the ships going in and out from Iran, from Strait of Hormuz, which are linked to Iran. They are specifically targeting Iran linked ships every single day, and every single place, on every single place all around the world. And this news was not made hugely public, right? I totally missed this news. Now, coming to the second part, the military. Do you know how many personnels are right now, surrounding the Iran? There are more than 10,000 military people. There are 10,000 army troops on the Iranian blockade, or you can say Kharg Island maybe, right? They are posted near Kuwait, they are posted near UAE, and they are just on the standby that if war happens, they are going to attack on it, right? They can just move on and they can just go on. Now, as I've talked about in the last video, that this ceasefire is just for reloading, right? That is exactly happening. US has prepared specific ships which were meant for medical treatment. They are surrounding Iran, right? They are present in the Gulf area, the sea, Red Sea maybe, right? Coalition army has more warships. There are around 16 warships or maybe 11 warships, right? Now, these are the things which I talked about in the previous video, and right now these numbers have increased. And what do they suggest? They are suggesting that war is coming. And now I've talked about just US. Let's go to another location to talk about what Iran is doing in response to that. All right, so there is this man in Iran parliament. It is the name of the man is Ali Niksad. All right, that was the person who talked about before the ceasefire happened, right? That is the person who said that if the Islamabad talks fail, they are going to pass this law. And I'm sure if you have put some little interest in this war scenario, that what is happening in the world, you may have heard it. Iran was trying to legalize Strait of Hormuz, that they can toll any ship passing through Strait of Hormuz. And that Ali Niksad, that was the person, that was the parliament speaker, maybe a parliament member, right? And he said that if Islamabad talks fail, right, the parliament of Iran has to pass this law. And do you know what is the last date of that law? That is today, on 17th of April. Right, 17th of April is the last day when Iran is going to finalize that, and it was preliminary approved. All right, it has been already approved, so that it is now in the parliament, right? And the government of Iran just have to pass this bill, and if they do, then every single ship which is going to pass through Strait of Hormuz, they are going to pay a toll in riyals. And this is not the one thing that they are just going to pay the money. It also gives Iran a very high and very dangerous authority. What is that? That authority is that they can fire any other ship of any other country which is doing anything in Strait of Hormuz, which is in direct conflict with the US. Why? Because Trump has ordered some ships of theirs, and they have already sending drones, underwater drones, UUV, unmanned underwater vehicles, right? They are clearing the Strait of Hormuz because there are mines, right? Iran has set up mines and they are clearing it. And if this bill passes, right, if this bill passes, then Iran is legally approved to attack any ship, any drone which is going through Strait of Hormuz and which has not been authorized by Iran, right? They can attack it if that thing is obstructing IRGC, the revolutionary group of Iran, in conducting their duties. And this is in the direct conflict of what US is saying. Now, that is why I'm making this video. Why? Because The war is just right here, right? This is just on our heads, and it is again a weekend, right? Today is Friday, Saturday and Sunday is the weekend, and there is a very high possibility because of these things that either US or Iran is going to attack on each other, and this war is going to escalate just like that in a snap of a finger, right? Just like Thanos. So this is the reality of the world right now, not just astrologically. This is the reality, both financial wise as well as military wise. So I hope I have touched down some base. I hope I have covered you enough with what is happening right now, and I'm like 90% sure that war is happening this weekend. Either US or Iran is going to, they are going to invade this ceasefire, not invade actually, they are going to override this ceasefire. And also that the last news, the day of yesterday, right? The news came yesterday night. Sorry for this. So the news came on the yesterday night that Israel and Lebanon, they have agreed to 10-day ceasefire. But do you know what happened? Just before that ceasefire was announced, or you can say implemented on Lebanon, Israel attacked on Lebanon and Hezbollah, which is again the part of Iran, and they can strike back. And these ceasefires, these are just some days where they reload. Every country just reload their weapons, and they are trying to talk it out like, all right, maybe we can make a permanent deal, maybe we can stop war. But that doesn't mean that they cannot override it, that they cannot attack it. It has happened a lot of times before, right? The US has done it, Iran has done it, Ukraine has done it, Russia has done it. Every single country has invaded that ceasefire, right? They have overridden this ceasefire thing. So this can happen anytime, and the astrologically and maritimely and as well as militarily, this weekend is the ticking time bomb. All right, we can hear news either on Saturday, either on Sunday, maybe if, it can be Monday. But if I know Trump, he is not going to attack when the market is open. Why? Because if markets are open and if attack happens, markets can bleed much more, right? But if he attacks on the weekends, then market dropping, market bloodbath is contained, and he would try to complete this war in just a weekend. He would try it, and that is why there are high chances that Saturday is the day. Maybe Saturday could be the day where this war happens, where ceasefire gets overridden by US. It can happen, it's not surety, but astrologically from 19th to 21st, which is from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, these are the 3 days where we have to look out on this. So this is it for today's video. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please like it, and if you haven't, please subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.